Hi, this is a little instructional for what to do with the music industry layouts. So I'm just going to grab the industry layouts from Aula. They're in with the music industry layouts section. Once you downloaded those, let's have a look at them. We've got a CD book front InDesign file, a PDF which just shows you what that looks like, and then the back, and again a PDF that shows you what it looks like, and then 3 PSDs which are to do with the social media aspects of it. So if we open up this, still with the InDesign first, and go for the front, if we open that up into InDesign, I've already opened mine up here, it should look like that. And if you go to a CD jewel case, you can have a look at how these work. It's usually a front cover on the right, and then there's a, if you look on these InDesign files, if there's a dotted line, that usually means a fold. So that's the fold point, and then this is the so this would form a kind of sleeve that goes in the front case. So you have your front image there, and then your inside image, inside cover image there, if you like. So I'm looking for an image that will work well here and then spread across to here. If I go to Capture One and just grab an image here, what I want to do is to get that into a format that will work in InDesign. So once you've worked it up in Capture One, done all your color correction, whatever, then you want to export it. So go to File, Export Images, go to Variants, which will export what you've the changes that you've made in Capture One, and just give it a destination. You can leave all that the same, and then change your recipe here to PSD, which is the Photoshop's document format. You can keep the color space and everything else the same. Change the scale if it's anything different to a fixed scale at 100%, because we don't want to make it any smaller. We can do all the resizing once we get into the other bit of software. And what you can also do is open with Adobe InDesign here directly, otherwise just open it separately. Okay, so export one variant. That should end up on my desktop as I told it to go there. And there's been some questions about whether whether you should include type, or, as in track listing, that sort of thing. I don't want any type. I just want images for this project. So I'm going to go into InDesign, and what I do is I just click within this area here. This is a picture box. Just click that, just make sure that that's what I'm selecting, and these little things come up. Then I go to File and Place, File Place, and then find my image. And here it is. Which one is it? Not that one, this one. So I'm going to open that image up, and you can see it's much too big for the file box. So first things first is you can go to fitting, so object fitting, and fill frame proportionally, and that will get you it correctly, at least on the horizontal, and we're losing bits of the image on the vertical, but that's okay. So at the moment where the line is, it's a little bit close to what we're calling the gutter here, and I want him to shift over to here a bit, so we're going to have to make the whole image a bit bigger. I'm just going to Command minus out a little bit so that I can see it a bit better. Just hold down Shift and drag that image. I'm pressing the wrong thing here. So go down to Direct Selection, and that will give you the outer image box here. I just want to increase the size of that. So that's good enough for this demonstration. He's in the middle of the front page, and then we go through to crowd onto the inside spread. So I'm just going to, I'm happy with that. I just need to export it now, so I go to File, Export, tell it where to go. I'm just going to put it on the desktop for now. And just put it in as a high quality print, okay? It's a high quality print there. Oh, by the way, when you're naming it, so use the naming convention that we've put up there for you. So, or if you get stuck, just put your name there so that we can distinguish. So put name and front page or whatever, just so I can distinguish yours from 40 other people. So we go there, and I'm just going to save that out. Make sure I'm in high quality print in the export dialog, and that's all I need to do. There we have. Okay, it's saying there are missing fonts. Don't worry about that. We're not dealing with fonts for this. And don't worry about that either. You may also get a little warning dialog when you first open saying, do you want this to convert this to the newer software? And if you do that, then just okay that. That's good that it's converting it. Okay, let's move on to the second one. We have here the back, which I've already opened here. And this is just the back of the jewel case. And you can see now that the fold line, if you go in closer, this is the dotted line here, which is where it folds around the corner so that it gives you a spine on the jewel case. And then these are trim lines, so this will be actually cut to this size here. So you don't want to put anything important in these little sections here. So anything here or here is not good to put anything important. So I'm just going to drag another. Again, we'll go to File. First of all, I have to choose the file I want, folder I want, image I want. I'm just going to, doesn't really matter for this purpose. Let's pick this image. Again, we file, export, variant. Make sure that we're on PSD fix. I'm going to export that out. I think I've already done that one. So let's go to File, File, Place. Find the image we want. Open that up. And you can see it's sort of kept as a clipboard there, and it's waiting for you to drop it in there. And then I went to object fitting before, but you can also do that as a right click, hit control click. Fitting, fill frame proportionately. Okay, so that pops them in space, and that'll do for this tutorial. So I'm going to just save that out, export it, give it your name. And I think in Aula we've put in the naming convention that we'd like, but if not, just put in your name and something to distinguish back and front image. Okay. High quality print, export. Okay, so that's that dealt with. Now let's move on to the PSDs. So these PSDs, we've got Facebook, Instagram, iTunes. I'm just going to use one as an example because that will then, and remember these all have to be different images for all 5 of these that we've given you. They need to be different images, not the same image. I'm just going to use Facebook as an example because what we do for Facebook applies to the other templates. So it's to open up a PSD into. Just get that. So here's the artwork template for Facebook. We want to cover that. We don't want Facebook coming in over the top. So it's just the point of having this is just that we know the dimensions. So the best way of getting this in here is actually to drop a file directly into Facebook here. So if we go to Capture, I'm just going to pick another one. Let's see what. Let's quickly pick one. Will be. And do what you need to do. Remember to do what you need to do. You've got to make sure that this is looking up to scratch and straight and everything. So this one I'm just going to straighten up just to show that I've done something to it. And now I want to export that out. No, I don't. Hang on. I want to bring that into Photoshop. So I'm just going to go to Image. Hang on. I've lost my train here. Sorry, Image, edit with Photoshop, open as a PSD, and all those are fine here. Edit variants, that will open up this image in Photoshop. Wait for that, and you can see it's up here along with, let me just close that down. So we've got the artwork here and the image we want to place into it here. So I can just drag that up and drop it in here. Okay, that's okay. And you can see it coming in at much bigger scale. That's okay because we can downsize it using the transform tool. So if we just give ourselves enough space by coming out on a minus and then Command T, we have to really come out because it's a huge image. I'm just going to drop it down. And remember, we're going down to Facebook, which is just a screen size image, smaller than the actual screen size. So that's what we want. We want to drag it down to fill that dimensions exactly. Okay, then we can tick that off, and you can see in our layers we've got our Facebook underneath there, and the text. Because the image is covering it, we don't need to get rid of that. We can just export that as it is. So we want these as JPEGs. So if you can just keep that image size the same, you can have a look at the image size here. That's the image size there. So to look at that, I just went to image size. And you can see the width and the height in pixels and the resolution 72. 72 is a screen resolution, so that's perfect for that. And then we just need to export it. So we can go to File, Export, or you can do File, Save As if you're old-fashioned like me. Let's do Export. Okay, so it's giving you the image size and the scale. That's all fine. We want to make sure that we want a JPEG and highest quality JPEG. Just make sure those are all looking good. If in doubt, convert to sRGB because this is going to the screen, so this is the correct color space for the screen. And then we export all. It will ask us where to put it. I'm just going to put these on the desktop for now. And again, put my name in. And export, and there you're away. Okay, so the rest of it is coming in terms of there will be a submission link put up onto Aula very shortly, and there you can put up all the submission requirements that are situated on the project brief. Make sure you read this very carefully to follow exactly what is required of you, and certainly those 5 files that we've prepared need to go up onto the submission for this unit. Okay, hopefully that was helpful.